Hi guys, welcome to another video. From Little to Simple. Joe Rogan and his world's most popular podcast need no introduction. Even though Joe Rogan is regularly in the news thanks to the extreme success of his podcast, most headlines about him in the past 2 years have been about Spotify acquiring his podcast for $200 million. But did Spotify actually acquire his podcast? If your answer is yes, then you are wrong. Can't believe us? Then continue watching this video to find out the truth. Today's video is going to be a little shorter than usual, but it is going to be extremely interesting. So make sure you watch until the end. If you like these kinds of videos, then please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and feel free to share it with your friends and family. Now let's roll. Before telling you whether Spotify actually acquired Joe Rogan's podcast for $200 million or not, let's discuss why Spotify was interested in his podcast in the first place. As most of you know, Spotify's primary business is music streaming, and they earn their revenue through subscription fees paid by users. Even though this business model looks straightforward and profitable, in reality the profit margins are very low, because Spotify pays 2/3 of every dollar they make from music streaming to rights holders. Due to these low profit margins, Spotify has always been on the lookout for ways to make more money from audio streaming. It might be hard to believe, but successful podcasts actually meet this criterion very well, if they are hosted on an audio streaming platform under the right conditions. This is exactly why Spotify was extremely interested in Joe Rogan's podcast. A successful and extremely popular podcast can be a huge source of income for audio streaming companies, but only if the following conditions are met. The platform is able to purchase exclusive rights to the podcast, making it impossible for competitors to host it. The platform obtains the streaming rights for a one-time fee, instead of a royalty-based or revenue-sharing model. If these two conditions are met, then an audio streaming platform like Spotify can make huge amounts of money with excellent profit margins. Now that we're clear about why Spotify was interested and how they could make money, let's talk about whether Spotify actually acquired Joe Rogan's podcast for $200 million. The answer is no. Spotify did not acquire Joe Rogan's podcast. Instead, they entered into a licensing agreement with Joe Rogan to exclusively stream his podcast on Spotify through 2023. Yes, you heard that right. Spotify has exclusive streaming rights to Joe Rogan's podcast only through 2023. What happens after that depends on many factors, but one possibility is Joe Rogan renewing the contract for a few more years. Spotify paid Joe Rogan $200 million only for exclusive streaming rights through 2023. Beyond that, Spotify has no creative control over him. Joe Rogan retains full creative freedom over his podcast, how to structure it, whom to invite, and everything else. Since this is just a licensing agreement with exclusive streaming rights, it cannot be considered a purchase or an acquisition. Despite paying $200 million for just 3 to 4 years, it's still an extremely profitable deal for Spotify because it is an exclusive streaming deal, giving Spotify an edge over competitors. At least through 2023, Spotify purchased the streaming rights for a fixed amount instead of a revenue-sharing model, meaning they keep almost all the revenue from the podcast during this period. This deal also highlights Joe Rogan's excellent business acumen. He pocketed $200 million through a licensing agreement valid only for 3 to 4 years, while retaining full creative freedom. Negotiating such a lucrative deal is no small feat. This proves Joe Rogan is not only an extremely talented content creator but also a great businessman. The key takeaway from this story is simple. Talent can only take you so far. To amass huge fortunes, one needs good business acumen along with talent. Thanks for making it this far into the video. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like and share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Until next time, have a good one guys.